Right now, you're watching this video on a device that wouldn't exist without the Industrial Revolution. The clothes you're wearing, the building you're in, the food you ate today, all products of a transformation that began just 250 years ago. But what if that transformation never happened? What if humanity remained locked in a pre-industrial world forever? Today, we're exploring a timeline where the machines never roared to life, and the world stayed exactly as it had been for thousands of years. The Industrial Revolution began in Britain around 1760 and fundamentally changed everything about human existence. Before it, 90% of people were farmers living short, brutal lives. After it, we got factories, cities, mass production, and eventually the modern world. The global population exploded from under 1 billion to over 8 billion today. But the Industrial Revolution wasn't inevitable. It required specific conditions: coal deposits near the surface, a culture of innovation, stable property rights, available capital for investment, and scientific knowledge. If just a few factors had been different, it might never have happened at all. So let's imagine a world where it didn't. What would 2025 look like? In this alternate timeline, the steam engine is never perfected. James Watt's innovations fail, or perhaps he dies young. Without steam power, there's no way to mechanize production. Factories don't emerge. Mass manufacturing never happens. The year is 2025, but technologically and socially, the world remains frozen somewhere around 1700. Most people still live in small villages. They farm using the same techniques their ancestors used for millennia. Wooden plows pulled by oxen, harvesting by hand with sickles, grinding grain with watermills. Cities exist, but they're small by our standards. London, the largest city in our 1800, had about 1 million people. In this timeline, it's still roughly that size in 2025. Paris, Constantinople, Beijing, all remain medieval in character with narrow streets, no sanitation systems, and buildings rarely exceeding 4 or 5 stories. Here's the shocking reality. Without the Industrial Revolution, Earth's population never explodes. In our timeline, industrialization led to better food production, medicine, and sanitation. In 1800, there were about 1 billion people. Today, there are 8 billion. In the alternate timeline, population growth remains constrained by agriculture. You can only support as many people as you can feed, and pre-industrial farming has strict limits. By 2025, global population might be only 2 to 3 billion, less than half of what we have today. This means billions of people who exist in our world were simply never born in this alternate reality. Entire family lines don't exist. Most people watching this video wouldn't exist. Life expectancy remains around 35 to 40 years. Child mortality is horrifically high. Nearly half of all children die before age 5. Diseases we've forgotten about, smallpox, cholera, plague, regularly sweep through populations, killing millions. Without industrialization, the rigid social hierarchies of the pre-modern world remain intact. Most of the world is still ruled by monarchies and aristocracies. The concepts of democracy, human rights, and equality spread very slowly or not at all. You're born into a social class, and that's where you stay. If your father is a farmer, you're a farmer. If you're born a woman, your life options are extremely limited: marriage, children, domestic work. That's it. The feminist movement never happens because there's no industrial economy to create opportunities for women outside the home. Slavery persists much longer. In our timeline, industrialization made slavery economically obsolete and helped fuel abolitionist movements. Without that economic pressure, slavery might still exist in many parts of the world even in 2025. Transportation remains pre-industrial. There are no cars, trains, or airplanes. If you want to travel, you walk, ride a horse, or take a sailing ship. A journey from London to Beijing takes 6 months to a year, just as it did in Marco Polo's time. Communication is equally primitive. No phones, no internet, no telegraph. If you want to send a message, you write a letter and send it by horseback courier. News of major events takes weeks or months to spread. Most people live their entire lives knowing only what happens within a 20-mile radius of their village. There's no electricity. When the sun goes down, you light candles or oil lamps, if you can afford them. Most people simply go to bed at nightfall because there's nothing else to do. Medicine remains medieval. Doctors still use leeches and believe in they for humors. There are no antibiotics, no vaccines, no anesthesia. Surgery is agonizing and usually fatal from infection. A simple cut can kill you from blood poisoning. Literacy remains rare. Perhaps only 20 to 30% of people can read and write. Books are expensive, handwritten or printed on primitive presses. A single book might cost a month's wages. Education is available only to the wealthy elite. Science advances incredibly slowly without industrial tools and funding. No microscopes powerful enough to discover bacteria. No telescopes to explore the cosmos. No laboratories for chemistry experiments. Scientists still debate whether the Earth revolves around the sun. Entertainment is local and live. No movies, no recorded music, no television. If you want music, someone has to play an instrument in front of you. Stories are told orally or read from books. Theater exists, but only in major cities. Here's an interesting question. Is the environment better off? At first glance, yes. There's no industrial pollution, no climate change, no plastic in the oceans. Forests cover much more of the earth. But it's not paradise. Humans still cut down trees for fuel and farmland, just more slowly. Many animal species are still hunted to extinction. Cities are cesspools of human waste and disease. Rivers are contaminated with sewage. The Industrial Revolution brought tremendous problems: pollution, inequality, destructive wars fought with industrial weapons. But it also gave us modern medicine, abundant food, education, freedom, and possibilities our ancestors couldn't imagine. Without it, most of us wouldn't exist. Those who did would live short, hard lives with few choices and little hope for something better. The Industrial Revolution wasn't just an economic change. It was humanity's great leap forward. And without it, we'd still be living in the past.